How's everyone doing? This is going to be my Oscars prediction video, the 89th Academy Awards, and let me know if you're going to watch and what your predictions are for who's going to win or who you want to win as well, because who I want to win isn't always who I think is going to win. And that's the first, right off the bat right there, I'm going to say as prerequisites going into this, but I'm not going to go over every category. I'm just going to go over kind of like the main ones. But I do want to say I wish for the best documentary, Under Fire, The Untold Story of Private First Class Tony Vaccaro. That should have been nominated. That was an amazing documentary, one of my favorite films of the year for 2016. And I also think for foreign film, Children of the Mountain should have been nominated. Children of the Mountain, I haven't heard anybody talk about that. I highly recommend it, but you highly need to check it out. It's one of my favorites of the year too. The Wailing, I think, should have been nominated. There's a bunch of ones I think should have been nominated for Best Foreign Language Film. But let's go ahead and get into it for starting up for Best Directing. We've got Denis Villeneuve for Arrival, which I can't wait to see what he does with Blade Runner. Hacksaw Ridge, Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson, the past couple of films that he's done, Apocalypto and then Hacksaw Ridge, are both amazing films. And he's still a great actor. His personal life is kind of crazy, but you got to kind of separate that. But yeah, I loved him in Bloodfather and Get the Gringo, two underrated movies, I think. La La Land, Damien Chazelle, and Manchester by the Sea, Kenneth Lonergan, and then Moonlight, Barry Jenkins. I think there's a lot of great representatives here directing-wise. I actually think they did a fantastic job, all of the ones nominated here. Now, I would love to see Mel Gibson win it. I think that was just a great one, representation of a war film, one of the best since Saving Private Ryan. Although I could see pretty much anybody on this list making it, I would personally love to see Mel Gibson. That's who I would prefer. But I kind of see Damien Chazelle winning it. Although I would like to see, if I had a second choice besides Mel Gibson, Kenneth Lonergan. But yeah, I would say Damien Chazelle is who I see winning it, because it just seems like one of those ones that's La La Land in general. It seems like Oscar bait. It seems like The Artist. It seems like Chicago. It seems like so many movies crash that are just made for the Oscars. So yeah, I would love to see Mel Gibson, but I think Damien Chazelle will win. Now, next up, Best Cinematography, Silence, which should have been nominated for Best Picture, in my opinion. Holy moly, how was that not? If Lion got nominated, then Silence should have, because those were kind of limited releases. They didn't get a ton of exposure, although they should have. Yeah, I think Silence should win, hands down. There's a bunch of other films that I think deserve for cinematography. I mean, even Hacksaw Ridge had some of the best cinematography for a war film I've ever seen. The Light Between Oceans as well. There's a whole bunch of different ones. All the ones nominated, Arrival, La La Land, Lion, Moonlight, Silence, are all deserving, but Silence far and away for me for cinematography wise. Although I could see La La Land winning, and I wouldn't be surprised if La La Land won. Next up, animated feature film, Kubo and the Two Strings, Moana, My Life as a Zucchini, The Red Turtle, and Zootopia. I haven't seen My Life as a Zucchini or The Red Turtle. Red Turtle is one of the ones I've wanted to see the most of the year. That and Elle and Lion are really the only ones nominated that I haven't seen. For me, it's really between, I enjoyed Moana, but it's between Zootopia and Kubo and the Two Strings. I'm going to go with Kubo and the Two Strings on that one, winning, and who I would probably pick as well, who I'd prefer. Actress in a supporting role, Viola Davis. Stop right there. Oh, that snot running down, that got it for me. Cheers to you. I think she's a fantastic actress. But yeah, after Viola Davis for Fences, you've got Naomi Harris for Moonlight, who did a great job. Nicole Kidman in The Lion, which I haven't seen, so I can't really say anything on that. I'm not a huge fan of her acting-wise, though. Octavia Spencer, Hidden Figures, I do enjoy her as an actress, too. I just wanted a little bit more for some of the characters in that film. I don't think it should have been nominated for Best Picture. I'll talk about that momentarily. I'm just going to ramble here. I'm sorry. Michelle Williams for Manchester by the Sea. I think she was underutilized to even be nominated for that. So Viola Davis, hands down, who I want to win and who should win, in my opinion, who I think will win. Next up is actor in a supporting role, Mahershala Ali for Moonlight. Criminally underutilized in that movie. Probably the best part of the movie. He was the driving force of the first segment, and then he just disappears. He's dead. They just barely mention it, and you're just like, what? How could you just drop that character? Yeah, he was phenomenal. I am a big fan of him acting-wise. It's just a shame they didn't utilize him more. Jeff Bridges in Hell or High Water. He did turn in a great role for that. He does that same kind of throaty voice that he does on a lot of his movies lately. Lucas Hedges for Manchester by the Sea, I don't think he should have been nominated. Dev Patel for Lion, I do like him as an actor. I haven't seen Lion yet though. Michael Shannon for Nocturnal Animals. I don't think he should be on the list either, although I do like him as an actor and I love Nocturnal Animals. I think it should have been nominated for Best Picture. So I would Mahershala Ali, he had such limited screen time, but he was like the driving force of the introduction to the character into the movie. So I'm going to go with him. I'd love to see him win, but I could see Jeff Bridges winning as well. Next up is actress in a leading role. Isabelle Huppert for Elle, which I haven't seen. One of the ones I wanted to see the most for 2016, which I didn't see. There's like really only, I want to say 3 films from 2016 that I've wanted to see that I haven't. Ruth Negga for Loving. She's come a long way. The first movie I saw her in was a movie called Isolation, a low-budget horror movie dealing with a killer mutant cow. So she's definitely, I think she was the best part of that movie. I think it was an important movie, but not necessarily a great movie cinematically. But she was definitely the best part of the movie for me. Great cinematography in it too. Natalie Portman for Jackie. Fantastic. I actually think Jackie should have been nominated for a Best Picture as well. If you're going to throw in other movies up there that are nominated, I think that Jackie could have been nominated too. Natalie Portman, fantastic. She was great in there. Emma Stone, I think she's beautiful and stunning and talented. I don't think she deserves for Best Actress. Meryl Streep, she's had enough for Florence Foster Jennings. Let other people eat. She's had enough right there. So for me, it's between... actually, you know, I haven't seen Elle, so I really wanted to though. So I'm going to go with Natalie Portman as Jackie. I have seen Jackie. I thought it was a fantastic performance. So she definitely deserves an Oscar. So that's who I'm going to go with, and who I think deserves to win and who should win. I don't want to see Emma Stone win as much as I'm not going to be mad if she wins. I just don't think she deserves it as much as Natalie Portman, or even some of the Meryl Streep or Ruth Negga. I think they just put in better performances for me personally. Next up, Best Actor in a Leading Role. Casey Affleck, Manchester by the Sea, hands down for me. But Andrew Garfield, I did enjoy, I think more so the movie than necessarily his performance, but he did a great job in the role too. Ryan Gosling in La La Land, I despised his singing. I'm sorry. It's cringeworthy for me. I'm not a good singer, but he's not either. Sorry. I like when he plays more sullen roles like Drive and things like that. But I did enjoy La La Land for what it was. I'll talk about that more in a moment. Viggo Mortensen, Captain Fantastic. I loved that film. Holy moly, did I enjoy that film. And enjoyed his performance, that father role too. Denzel Washington as Fences. The movie itself, I didn't love. It did feel like a play. I mean, it was, you know, based on the play. But for me, it was the performance that drove that movie. Denzel Washington was phenomenal in that role. And, yeah, Viola Davis too. So, I mean, I think Denzel, he could easily deserve it, but I would love to see Casey Affleck win it, and I think I'm going to go with Casey Affleck. He's going to win it, and I think he deserves to win. That would be my choice. Now, Best Picture. There's 9 nominees this year, instead of, there could be 10 total. So, Arrival, Fences, Hacksaw Ridge, Hell or High Water, Hidden Figures, La La Land, Lion, Manchester by the Sea, and Moonlight. I don't think Moonlight should have been nominated. I think it's mostly nominated because of race and sexual identity. And it's a story we've seen before. And I think they underutilized the best part of the whole movie, best character of the whole movie for me, is Mahershala Ali. His character was the driving force, like I said. I didn't think it was that special of a movie. I thought it was a good movie. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't think it was an excellent Oscar-nominated worthy film in my opinion. It's just something we've seen before, dealing with sexual identity, you know, loneliness, loving, and stuff like that. I liked how it was broken down with the 3 characters, but it just felt like it was kind of a little too broken up and segmented, like he lost a little bit of the character, and I wanted a little bit more development too. Next up, Manchester by the Sea. I would love to see Manchester by the Sea to win. Very depressing movie though. I'm not sure if, I mean, for me it'd be one of the top ones of the ones nominated. I think Jackie could have been nominated, Nocturnal Animals could have been nominated, Silence should have been nominated. For me, Silence would have been one of the leading ones to win. Arrival, I think it was very aesthetically appealing. I don't know if it should be on the Best Picture category. Fences, again, It felt more like a play to me. It was really the acting performance that drove it. So again, that kind of puts it off. Hacksaw Ridge, I think that deserves to be on there. One of the best war movies since Saving Private Ryan. Hell or High Water, I enjoyed the film. Again, I don't know if I would put it on the list. It felt a little dry and dramatically paced at spots, but Ben Foster, amazing. He deserves way more recognition as an actor. Hidden Figures, it's a very important film. Again, dealing with African American women and dealing with NASA, and they're not getting the recognition of what they've done, and now it's finally coming out, and I think that's great. But I don't know if it deserves to be a Best Picture nominated film. Some great performances in there, but I just wanted a little bit more from it. It's a bit, again, I would have rather seen a documentary on it than how it was presented. Personally, La La Land is going to win because it is Oscar bait. Again, it's just everything about the Oscars just paying kind of homage and tribute to classic musicals and classic, Hollywood essentially. And it's just, as soon as I saw the movie, it was like, that's gonna win. It's like Artist in Chicago right there. It's gonna win. That's hands down. I think La La Land is gonna win. I haven't seen Lion. I would love to see Manchester by the Sea win or Hacksaw Ridge. Those would be my favorites. But La La Land is who I think is gonna win by a landslide, personally. I could see Moonlight winning just because, like, last year, Oscar's so white and all the, political stuff there, and the racial stuff going on there. So I could see them doing something like that. I hope it doesn't win. I hope that's not the case, just because I didn't think it was anything groundbreaking for what we've seen in cinema already. It's gotten so much recognition. I couldn't log into Facebook for the past, like, 7 months without seeing an ad. I think it was the most overhyped movie of the year, Moonlight, and the most overly advertised movie, more than Star Wars Rogue One, more than anything. So yeah, those are my choices right there. I think La La Land will win for Best Picture. It wouldn't be my choice. I'd rather see Silence win. That would be my choice. But also Hacksaw Ridge or Manchester by the Sea. But there you go. Those are my choices right there for the top categories for the 89th Academy Awards, the Oscars. Let me know what you think of my choices. What would be your choices? Who do you think is going to win, and who would you prefer to win as well? Leave me a comment or video response down below, and let me know if you're going to watch the Oscars as well. Hope everybody's doing well, and take care.